going on, everyone? It's Alex back here with your weather forecast. Oh boy, we're entering a very active stretch of weather, whether it's very gusty, strong, or potentially even damaging winds. 45 to 55 mile per hour wind gusts very likely tomorrow. Brutal, absolutely brutal cold air. We're talking wind chills -15 to as much as -30 degrees in some areas of New Jersey and the Mid-Atlantic. Holy, cold as hell. And then Valentine's Day, another thing to talk about. So we're gonna get to all of that into this video. First off, let's start off here with today. This is for your 4 p.m. Scattered snow showers starting to enter through the region. And we might start to see some flurries very soon into our area. Actually, hold on, let me see if we got any new updates out of our weather station. Yeah, we have some moderate snow starting to enter through southern New Jersey, so we're going to watch for that. 7 p.m., snow starts to pick up, 1 a.m., and we could have quite a few hours of snow. Watch these gradient winds by 10 a.m., 1 p.m., 4 p.m. Look how close these gradients are. That's going to tell me, once that very strong front moves through, very, very strong winds. And I am concerned, especially about tree damage tomorrow. Why is the reason I'm concerned about tree damage? I feel there's going to be some nasty tree damage possible. Why? Due to the combined cold air and due to these very strong winds, these trees are very susceptible to some damage. And we're talking about large limbs being potentially broken from this. Why? Is because these trees have been a little bit weakened and moisture starved. That snow ain't providing the moisture for the trees. As long as it's still there, it's not providing any moisture. Trees are weak. And we have a very strong northwest flow. We could be talking about 27 miles per hour sustained in some parts of New Jersey. Very strong winds with gusts potentially getting close at 60 miles per hour. Very intense winds. High wind warning has been issued for southern New Jersey. Wind advisory has been issued for northern and central New Jersey with gusts up to 55 miles per hour expected. Southern New Jersey, 60 to 65 mile per hour wind gusts are expected. Very, 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 very strong winds expected tomorrow. Cannot repeat that enough. So bundle up if you have to go outside. Hypothermia is likely if you don't dress up properly. Very likely. So, very cold, guys. Very cold. I'm telling you, it's going to be cold. Very, very cold. Don't say I didn't warn you. Sunday, cold continues. We're going to be seeing negatives at night. -5 to as much as -10 in parts of New Jersey. Very, very cold. Holy my God, it's going to be cold. Then we finally start to warm up a little bit by Tuesday. By warm up, I mean maybe getting a little bit above freezing before crashing back right down. You see some warmth starting to enter through, but it doesn't quite do it. Again, it's this cold high that's really providing that cold air, not going anywhere here. And we're staying just or below freezing, and it's not melting, no snow. Now, Thursday's here where things start to get interesting. We start to get almost as a little bit of a cutter system. You have a low pressure developing here near Kansas. Again, very warm air. When you notice this cold high still situated in the north and starts to dive a little bit more east and south, watch what starts to happen. Snow overspreads the region and crashes. It was heavy rain at first, but watch what starts to happen. That high starts to crash down from Canada. Boom, we got some heavy snow. What's really interesting on the European, and listen, we are maybe a week away from this. What's very interesting about the European today is it gives a snow system. And that's not the only time it kept, blurring that signal where we could see several to as much as a foot of snow possible here. We have 2 low pressure systems working tandem into each other. And it's almost like a line of showers and severe thunderstorms to our south. But there's enough cold air we could see some heavy snow into New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania. Watch this. So, we get a very vigorous upper low ejecting across Texas into Louisiana. Look at your cold anomalies here. This is some pretty nasty cold. And watch how those anomalies start to dip down vigorously into Texas. Watch this. Your 540 line right across the Jersey area. Very intense severe weather possible on the southern side. 999. Snow on the north side. And watch what starts to happen. We were talking about this on our last video. Valentine's Day is a huge period to watch. Watch what happens. Boom. That's what you get. Severe thunderstorms on the southern side. Tennessee south. Even up to Kentucky, we could have some big time severe weather and thunderstorms going on there. But since you have this cold air enough dammed down, now let's take a look at your temperatures. It's just barely cold enough, but it's enough where it makes it all snow into New Jersey. Watch what starts to happen. All snow. Look at this. Major snowstorm. We go a frame further into 7 a.m. on Saturday. Next Saturday, major snowstorm. Even blizzard in parts of Ohio because of those gradients. 985 low pressure across the Carolinas. Severe squall line marching eastward. Watch what starts to happen. Starts to even bomb out across portions of Delmarva, New Jersey. The rain-snow line, a very close call, but again, I think we could be looking at a major snowstorm by the time we get to next week. Either with that clipper, look at this. Either with that clipper or with this near Valentine's Day. No, this is on Valentine's Day. Look at this. Just keeps on continuing. Keeps spinning up off the Jersey Shore. What an impressive look by the European. The fact that it's still showing this and it's 7 days away. This is getting pretty close. And then by the time we get into the 18th, watch what happens again. Severe weather. Severe weather is going to make a huge comeback. I feel severe weather could be a big issue going into March, mid-March, and into late March for especially these areas across the east, the south central U.S., and then into even parts of New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and New York. I feel this could be a real setup where this could be a lot of instability building up here. I'm really watching that because that signal for this storm has been showing up consistently after that major snowstorm pattern. And look at this major low across Nebraska. 975, revving up. That is screaming to me already. There is going to be some damaging winds involved with this as well. And look at this. Relentless storms with severe thunderstorms possible. Even a bit of southern snow in North Carolina. We're not getting out of this cold pattern anytime soon. And if you want to talk about cold, let's talk about cold. Because we're going to zoom right into the northeast here with this just absolutely mind-boggling how cold it can get on Saturday. And we're going to pull up the wind chills as well on Ventusky later in the video. But let's go here to Saturday for tomorrow. And I'm just going to show you how ridiculously punishing brutal this cold air will be. This is for your 4 a.m. Saturday and 7 a.m. Saturday. You are 0 degrees in Pennsylvania, -2 in Pittsburgh. And, dude, we are 0 or even below 0 by the time we get into 10 a.m. Saturday, 1 p.m., 4 p.m. Look at this unbelievably cold air entering and spilling across portions of the Northeast. Very, very cold air. This is one of the coldest nights we're going to have on record, for sure. And this continues for several days. Now, once we get to the 12th, we start to... But still, it's below freezing. You're not seeing nothing warm up all this period. Now, when we get into the 18th and 19th, that's when we start to get a bit of a ridge. But again, the cold air spills right back in. This is what I'm saying. You could have some severe weather here And I wouldn't be surprised if New Jersey, Maryland, Pennsylvania could be involved with this 60 to 65 degree warm sector and maybe even some rumbles of thunder. But the day after, you could be backed into an Arctic blast with snow. This is going to be a very violent pattern. Why am I saying this? I just think if you think winter's over, oh man, you might be wrong. You might be very wrong. I'm warning you, this pattern is going to be very, very unstable. And this could be leading to some very dangerous wind events, very dangerous storm events, and even some snow events. I think wind will become an issue by the time we get into mid to late February and into the March timeframe. Wind will be an issue, and we will see several days of these gradient winds really just getting ridiculously powerful. I think there's going to be several, maybe like 2 to 4 events. These winds up here in the Mid-Atlantic and Northeast, gusting up to 60 miles per hour is absolutely on the table. Even for tomorrow, 55. With these cold temperatures, you could see some, you could at least see some scattered power outages, some limbs down, some large limbs down, maybe even a couple trees down. This is definitely going to be a problem with the wind. I'm getting pretty concerned. My next signal I'm watching for these intense gradient winds is going to be that by the February time frame, like February 19th and 20th. Look at that Arctic air spilling back in. That's already screaming to me there's going to be a damaging wind event potentially here. These winds are going to be a problem, and they aren't going to ease back. So, man, this is just, holy, yeah, this is going to be a wild pattern. I told you February ain't going anywhere, but this snowstorm here on the 13th we're watching, I think this is becoming a bit more likely. Look at this by the time we get into Valentine's Day, major snowstorm would dump feet of snow across this area, and then after that feet of snow, maybe even some severe weather and damaging winds on the 20th and 21st. Even some North Carolina snow. Yeah. Unbelievable. What kind of pattern we are entering into is a very violent and dangerous one. That's what I want you to, really grind into your head. This is going to be a very dangerous pattern. Now, we're going to take a look at our feels-like temperatures for Saturday here. And I'm just going to show you how absolutely ridiculous this is about to get. So, this is for your Saturday morning. So, these wind gusts will continue to pick up through the day. Negative 30s all across this area, northwestern Pennsylvania. Maybe not so atypical. Watch this. 7 a.m., your Arctic front already starts to make the move into New Jersey. Negative 8. Waking up here into my area. Some negative 15s, negative 20s, and then up there in Allentown, negative 35. 8 a.m., 9 a.m., 10 a.m., 11 a.m., 12 a.m. Look at this punishing cold air. Up there in the north, we might be seeing some negative 40s. Negative 20 starting to spill down further into the south, into New York City and south. Look at this cold air. I mean, if you're saying this won't be cold, man, this is going to be absolutely brutal. Negatives all day, and this ain't just ending there. If we get into the nighttime hours, this is going to be even worse. Look at this. By the time we get into 4 a.m. on Sunday, negative 21. Negative 21 over my location. Philadelphia getting close. Philadelphia's a bit warmer. Negative 7 in Philadelphia. Now in New York City, negative 20. Where my aunt lives, negative 30. 6, 7. Oh my God, dude. Negative 25 in my area. Up there in the mountains in New Jersey, negative 40, reaching negative 40. And this brutal cold continues the whole entire day on Sunday. And it doesn't go out with a bang already. And it gets even colder on Sunday night. My goodness, are these temperatures gonna be absolutely punishing, ridiculously cold? My God, golly goodness, man. I mean, if you don't think this is impressive, I don't know what you think. Real temperatures, let's go back here into 3 p.m. Again, single digits all day. Go up north, 4 degrees. Ugh, it's cold as hell. And then watch this. By the time we get into the evening hours, -1, 0 degrees, starts spilling. A little bit more robust in the north. And it's going to start spilling down even more. Watch this. That's a -2 near Trenton. Very, very cold air. My God, this is some unbelievable cold air. -3, -4 from my location. Look at this, man. I mean, these temperatures will be nothing but absolutely shockingly cold. It's going to be real brutal. Now, factoring those with the wind gusts. Oh, these winds could be bad, dude. Okay. Let's go to 5 p.m. here. Okay. Let's go even more, behind. And one thing that I've noticed here, these wind gusts are approaching a lot sooner. This Arctic front looks like it's going to pass by a lot faster. So you already got 30 to 40 mile per hour wind gusts already howling in this region here. Getting up to 50 miles per hour in Maryland, Delaware. Look at these winds picking up by the time we get to 7 a.m. Look at this. Let's just zoom into a couple locations here. Mount Olive getting there 51 miles per hour. Some of these localized bigger bands of winds getting up to 50 miles per hour near Philadelphia, Delaware, Baltimore. There's these localized bands where it's a little lower, and then these bands where they're way higher. And this is going to be a problem. 8 a.m., look at these wind gusts all the way into Mount Pocono, 72 mile per hour wind gusts. Again, generalized 40 to 50 miles per hour continuing. And they're going to get even stronger throughout the day. Watch what starts to happen. We're starting to get a more and more defined pocket of 50 to 60 miles per hour wind gusts into this area. I wouldn't be surprised if we got into Edison as well. But look at these winds in Baltimore. They are really starting to pick up into those 49, 51. Very, very strong winds. 2 p.m., 3 p.m. Looks like the winds start to light up a little bit. But then look at these wind gusts all the way into Baltimore. Still extremely strong. Now, 6 p.m., 7 p.m. I think this is when the brunt of the winds could happen. Widespread 50 mile per hour wind gusts. Don't trust this here where you're seeing 30 mile per hour wind gusts. Focus more on these winds right here. This is concerning me a lot. When I start to see 57, 60 miles per hour near New York City is really starting to concern me a bit. 9 p.m., 10 p.m., look at these winds still howling. I think the main wind period is going to be that 5 to 8 p.m. time frame. So I'm going to tell my mom to maybe put out my iPad outside so we can record some of these winds, because these could really be bizarre. They could be bizarre. I don't know how it's going to work out for tomorrow, but my God, these winds are going to be howling. And when we get into Sunday here, still gusty, but not quite as gusty as Saturday. Again, Saturday I wouldn't be surprised if there were high wind warnings issued for the whole entire state, because man, these winds are just going to get incredibly strong. Incredibly strong. Really, these are some very gusty winds. Very gusty winds. I'm worried about some damage as well. Wind speeds. Okay, wind speeds here approaching that 20 mile per hour range. Some pockets get higher than that. But again, the same idea here. Very strong winds. Very, very strong winds. And into the evening, they calm down a bit. But those gusts are going to start to ramp up in this area. These winds are going to be most robust, sustained into 1 to 5 p.m. But when we start to get to that 7, 8 p.m., that's when your winds are going to get a whole lot gustier. Not sustained, but they're going to get much more dangerous in terms of the gusts. Like, let's compare here 1 p.m. Widespread 24, 25 mile per wind gust. But when we go into these wind gusts, yes, 43 to 50. But when we go into that 7 p.m. time frame, you see how like it's starting to weaken a bit? But when we start to go into these wind gusts, look at what starts to happen. 8 p.m., 9 p.m. Look at these wind gusts here. Very impressive. Very, very impressive. There's going to be localized bands where you don't get as much of these bad winds, but there's going to be these bands where these winds are going to be absolutely ridiculous. Ridiculous winds that are going to happen here. I'm getting concerned about this. I'm getting very concerned about this. I've been watching this for days now. This is going to be a very, very strong wind event for Jersey and Long Island. Very, very strong. And you're going to need a brace for more of these wind events once we get into mid to late February. This ain't ending anytime soon. I'm sorry. This really ain't ending anytime soon. I wish it did, but man, these winds are going to be a huge problem for Saturday. So guys, that'll be it for your video. Again, we have like 4 or 5 things to watch out. Tomorrow, dangerous. Tundratic wind shows. Wind gusts getting up to 50 to 60 miles per hour statewide. High wind warning is possible. Expansion of it is very, very possible. Next week on, let's say, Friday, Clipper system. Clipper system may deliver a couple inches of snow. And then Valentine's Day, the big monster may be apparent. We will see what happens. But again, the localized news, all about tomorrow. These wind chills will be absolutely brutal, and these winds will also make it feel a lot worse outside. So I will see you guys later, and have a great rest of your Friday. Again, stay safe out there, and be safe out there. Be safe in these extremely cold conditions, and don't be outside if you don't have to. Have a great day, guys. Peace out, y'all.